Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football for our watch along today, which entails Sheffield United against Liverpool in the first Premier League kickoff of this weekend, weekend 7. Look, I'm intrigued. I think Sheffield United have deserved this opportunity on That's Football. I'm sure they'll be over the moon that Goldbridge is shining a little bit of a light on them. They've had a fairly decent start to the season, and I do think that they deserve this. Do I think they're going to get a result in this game? Probably not. But we're up and running. We're straight into it, and hope everybody's well. I'm not late, Chad Richards. It did say 12:30. It is 12:30. The game has kicked off, and we are live. Get with it or get out. That's what I say. Mark on time, says Matthew Eden. I've got to be on time. I've got to be on time. We've kicked off anyway. So very interested to see how these teams get on today, because I think that Liverpool will go into this as massive favourites. Of course, why wouldn't they? I understand that. That is their right. But on the other hand, I also feel that Sheffield United, as I said, they've done quite well in this league thus far. So they deserve a bit of credit, they do. And I think that they might get a bit of credit. So let's see how we go. Please do share the video if you are new, bottom underneath the video, and subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. It's pissing down with rain in Sheffield. So it really is raining. If you're watching it on the telly, it's chucking it down. So, but other than that, I'm sure it won't be raining for too long. Why are we talking about the bloody weather? Let's talk about this game, and let's see how we get on with it. Lots of people tuning in, which is great. Please subscribe if you're new. This channel is getting closer and closer to what would be an unbelievable 100,000 subscribers on a channel that I just have a bit of fun on with you lot. So there we go. Hi Mark from Malaysia, says Pavan. Mark is on time, says Mason Kentish. Sheffield has started well in the league, says Mason Kentish again. Well, you know what? We're going to talk about that. This is the laid-back sort of channel on here. And Liverpool are actually on the attack with Firmino. They might get a shot off here. They've got men on the overlap, and Alexander-Arnold. Nice little bit of skill into Henderson. Liverpool very much on the attack here. Good cross by Henderson, and Sheffield United not able to clear their lines at all. Robertson, poor cross. So let's go through the team news in case you're not aware. We might have a goal before we get to the team news actually, because Liverpool have started off very well. Looking a bit ominous for Sheffield United at the moment. Liverpool literally camped on the edge of the box. 5 points clear at the top, of course. So Sheffield United, Henderson, who is on loan from Manchester United, so let's keep an eye on his performance. Basham, Egan, O'Connell, Baldock, Lundstram, Norwood, Fleck, Stevens, McBurney and Robinson. No place for Ravel Morrison on the bench. I don't know what the case is. I don't know what the case is with Ravel Morrison at Sheffield United. If anybody does, please let us know. But he's not on the bench and he's not in the starting lineup. Liverpool, Adrian, Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Henderson, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Salah, Firmino, Mane. Probably their strongest team with Milner, Gomez, Oxlade, Lallana, Origi and Kelleher on the bench. So a very, very strong Sheffield United side for this game. Sheffield United are on the attack here into the box. Shot away straight at the keeper, but a good direct run there from McBurney. Funny name, isn't it? But yeah, nice little bit of a break from there from Sheffield United. You feel they've probably got to do a little bit better with these sort of opportunities. He's coming in that right-hand side, cuts in against Matip, gets a shot away, easy save for the goalkeeper. But you know what? I wanted to look at that as well. I did want to give Sheffield United their dues and sort of look at the Premier League, and dues is what they deserve. You know, they've done very, very well. They deserve those dues, and it's mid-table, 10th with 8 points. I mean, the funny thing is they've got exactly the same points as Spurs and Manchester United, so they're on 8 points. And Chelsea as well. 6 games. They deserve the credit they've got. And in those games that they've played so far, if I run through them, there's not really anywhere where you'd say there's a load of bad luck in there. They drew with Sheffield. From opening game of the season, they drew with Bournemouth. Then they beat Crystal Palace. Lost to Leicester. But then they drew with Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, which I think was a fantastic result for them. Then they lost to Southampton, but they beat Everton away. So they've been, They struggled at home, actually. They lost to Southampton at home. They lost to Leicester at home. And Crystal Palace they won. But away from home, they're unbeaten away from home. So they've done very, very well. Fair play to them. Well done to Sheffield United. You've done very well. Up the blades, as always a blade, says Sean Bean, who's probably the most famous Sheffield United fan I know is Sean Bean, also known as Borrymore. And Dad of Thrones, what was his name? Ned Stark. Everton are good. No, they're not. Madrid derby watch along tonight, says Ahmed Rafi. No, I'm out tonight. So no, somebody just said there you're a workaholic. I'm not. I've been training this morning, so I've got a very, very painful groin. But I was training at 9 o'clock this morning, which is good. But Liverpool on the attack at the moment, and I just don't know. I mean, I would love to see Sheffield United get a result, not only because obviously Liverpool, being a United fan, are big rivals, but also I just think for football it would be good. But I think it's going to be difficult. Liverpool, remember, were my prediction to win the title this year. So, oh God, I've got Lord of the Ring geeks telling me it's Boromir, not Borrymore. God, don't get Lord of the Rings wrong. The geeks will be all over you, quite literally. It's on BT, Len O'Sullivan, and maybe Henderson does have a future, says Mason Kentish. Any FIFA tonight, says Keith Hemmings. This is the channel for your FIFA 20 career mode. It's going off like a bottle of pop on social media at the moment. Remember, I'm on episode 4 of my Manchester United FIFA 20 career mode. Episode 5 will be tomorrow lunchtime, Sunday lunchtime, but about 1:30. But there's big issues. There are big issues. It was trending on Twitter last night. FIFA 20 career mode is broke because, as we've noticed, some of the teams that you're playing, they're picking like their reserves and stuff. And we've got Liverpool and Man City in the bottom 3. So it's a shame, but I think the career mode might have to get started again at some point because it is a shame. Hi Mark, hope you're well. Are you doing a Manchester United watch along for when they play Arsenal, says Rosie Smith. Rosie. I tell you what, do you think the United Stand, the biggest Manchester United fan channel in the world, is going to do a watch along for the biggest game of the season? Of course we are. 8 o'clock Monday night, United Stand. Won't be on this channel, it'll be on the United Stand. Chris Sparks bought a big issue this morning. Well done, my man. Help out those people who are less fortunate than yourselves. Very, very good outlet, the big issue. I must admit, I'm not going to pretend I buy it every week and lie to you. I haven't bought it in ages, but really should go out and get one. And here he is again, McMuffin, or whatever he's called. Doesn't get past Matip this time, but that ball's on. This is where, if you like tactics, I'm not really a stat man. I think stat man people are obsolete, really. They're just geeks trying to like football. But tactics I do like. And twice now, Sheffield United have hit a tactical area of Liverpool, and that's TAA, Trent Alexander-Arnold. He goes forward a lot. So what they're looking to do is, McMuffin, or whatever his name is, I need to remember his name. I don't know the Sheffield United team. I'm going to be very ignorant, so I need to learn it. McBurney, he is exploiting that gap behind Trent Alexander-Arnold a lot and pulling out to there. And that's happened twice in this first 10 minutes. But here's Robertson on the way forward. Good interception tackle by Basham. But yeah, let's see what... Sheffield United have earned this opportunity. They're on 8 points after 6 games. They're playing Liverpool, who are top of the league. This is a massive opportunity for them. In FIFA, Everton are top of my league and Liverpool are in the relegation zone, says Football Fantasy. I don't like that. Whether you like FIFA, Pro Evo, Football Manager, Championship Manager, whatever you play, I like it to be realistic. I was one of those kids who would spend an hour and a half playing Kickoff when I was like... Kickoff, that's how old I am. I would spend all that time editing the players because I wanted everything to be right. So I don't like playing FIFA 20 and seeing Liverpool and Man City in the bottom 3. It's funny for about half a second, and then you go, this is bullshit, it's not real. So, they need to sort it out. It's annoying me. Is McBurney not McMuffin, says Sad Sick Man. That's what I've been calling him, McMuffin, the McMuffin man. I don't know why. I'm hungry. I haven't had any breakfast. I'll tell you what, I would only... It's a good job McDonald's actually only sell Egg McMuffins in the morning, because I would never eat it once I'd woken up. an egg McMuffin just makes me want to throw up. But in the first thing in the morning, it's not too bad. Sheffield United on the attack again. Quite like the number of this 11. I'm going to tell you his name right now. Number 11, Robinson. Quite like him. He's got a bit of pace about him. Looks like he could cause a few problems. Mark, have you heard Liam Gallagher's new album? Says Allah Lak Jakaya. No, mate, I haven't. I heard Liam Gallagher saying he watches the United Stand. But I need to get that album. I'm very busy at the moment. You know, a lot of people... I really want to just have a couple of hours on Ultimate Team at some point. I'm not from Birmingham, James Walker. I live around the Birmingham area now, but I'm not from there. Are you doing a United predicted lineup tonight, Mark? Says Jamie Wiltshire. I've already done it, mate. It's on the United Stand preview from Thursday night. We do our previews. Sheffield United in the box. Liverpool clear it. What impresses me about Liverpool is that you know, Man City impressed me, but a lot of it's to do with oil. Good tackle by Baldock. But what impresses me about Liverpool is the team that Klopp has built, and their relentlessness and their philosophy is very good. Hello, Mark. I think you may have addressed this already. I always find this interesting. How did you become a United fan and your dad is a Chelsea fan? Says Southpaw Loves Sports. So, going to get an interesting answer here. It might get broken up by some action in the game. But, my family's originally from Nottingham. And my dad... I didn't even know my dad was a Chelsea fan until I was probably about 9. Because I always thought he was a Forest fan because he took me to a few Forest games when my mum and dad separated. So he's not a Forest fan, he's a Chelsea fan. He's got loads and loads of programmes from like the 70s. So I don't know why. I just think he quite liked Chelsea in the 70s. I think Chelsea were quite good in the 70s. So maybe he was a bit of a glory fan in the 70s. I don't know. But why do I support Manchester United? So I support Manchester United because growing up, my granddad was probably the biggest influence on my life football-wise. My mum was always a United fan because she loved George Best, but my granddad supported Manchester United because of the Busby Babes. So I sort of grew up on VHS videos of Manchester United, and I loved football, so that's what it was all about. But no, I did used to get. I've been to. I get down. I'll go and watch West Brom. I'll go and watch Villa. I'll go and watch any football. I'll go and watch Solihull Moors. I'm not bothered. I like watching football. I think that's one of the things if you're like me, when you grew up in an era where there was no Premier League football, you sort of had to go out and watch football. So I used to go, like my granddad used to manage Saturday and Sunday morning teams. I'd just go with him and watch them. I've watched so much football through my life because, like when I was a kid in the late 80s, like a young kid. You didn't really have much football on the telly. You had Match of the Day and one game a week. That was it. We weren't in Europe either. There was hardly any football on the telly at all. You're very spoilt now. So any opportunity I got to watch football, I would. And then when my mum and dad broke up, I was only about 6, I think. And as it's probably like now, on a weekend, my dad would have me and my sister. So he dropped my sister at grandparents, which was West Bridgeford, which is about a 10-minute walk from the city ground, for a couple of hours, and take me up to watch Forest. And that's what it was about. So I just love football. But I support United because of my mum's side of the family, really, and that's the side of the family that obviously brought me up. I'm not doing a watch-along for the Red Madrid derby, no, Rafi. A few people have asked me about that. I would have done, it just doesn't fit in with my life today, if that makes sense. I was thinking about doing the Man City-Everton watch-along, but I actually think Man City are going to smash them. I think this game will be better. I could get proved wrong. It's a Goldbridge risk, but we like to take risks, don't we? So, yeah. Mr. Zaki Boy says, I hate the whole support your local team thing. It's irrelevant, mate. I mean, look, I wouldn't say that the people who say support your local team are Brexiteers, people who voted Brexit on immigration grounds. Like, I know lots of people, I've got loads of mates who voted for Brexit based on, real reasons. They wanted to take control of Britain's decisions away from Europe, all valid reasons. But some people voted Brexit because they wanted to kick the immigrants out. And I think that sort of mindset sort of reminds me of people who say support your local team, because it's idiotic. It's absolutely idiotic. Like immigration, has, for decades, especially after the war in the 60s, when you had people coming from like, India, Pakistan, Jamaica, they kept the country afloat. And immigration's a good thing. Diversity's a good thing. So these people who say support your local team, it just reminds me of these people who are like against immigration and stuff like that, because it's just idiotic. Like I just said there, my granddad started supporting Manchester United in the mid-50s. Like, and people move. Like, what if you're from Manchester, but then you go and marry somebody in Leeds or London, and then you have a kid, and your kid's born in London, but you teach them to support Manchester because you're from Manchester United? No, don't support them, even though your dad's a United fan from Manchester. You've got to go and support Leyton Orient. It's absolutely idiotic, and but people genuinely believe it, and they're idiots, to be honest with you. My only issue with football fans are those ones who maybe supported Arsenal 2 years ago and now support Liverpool, or they supported Chelsea until 2008 and now they support Man City. When you change your support of a club based on and you're old enough to know better, I think that's wrong. I do see a lot of kids though, who one month they're wearing a Liverpool top and then the next month they're wearing a Man City top. So maybe I'm out of touch with that. I don't know. Callum Sangster says, "Hey Mark, would you ever consider streaming Football Manager?" I used to, Callum. I used to. You never know. You never know. Are you having a good weekend, Mark? Says Brad Gibbs. I am. I've been playing football this morning, which was good. Salah into the box. Sheffield United clear it. Liverpool looking ominous. Shoots wide from, I think that was Wijnaldum, wasn't it? Yeah. Half a chance. But he's got a corner. It looked like a bad shot, but I think it actually catches it. But yeah, good weekend so far. Football training this morning with my daughter's team, and then back to do this watch along with you good people. Then out to the pub this afternoon with my brother-in-law, and then tomorrow bit of FIFA on here, family time, and then I'm looking forward to Monday night. I don't normally like Monday night football. If it was United versus Stoke or something, which is impossible, but if it was United versus Norwich, I'd be like, oh god, I can't stand this weekend. But I think because it's such a big game on Monday night, I can afford to wait for it. I'm liking the build-up, and I really enjoyed. If you've not seen it on the United Stand, I really enjoyed the Troops and Flex and Rants show that's just gone up on the United Stand. What I love about that video is it goes off, and you think it's going to be Troops versus Rants. It's Flex versus Rants absolutely going at each other about Solskjaer, and Troops is sat there going, "Oh, he's at the wheel," taking the piss out of them. It's brilliant. Rosie thinks we might get a result on Monday, and she's feeling quite confident. Good. And United Stand show today, says the Legends. Yeah, there's one just gone up, mate. So yeah. Monkey Cocaine says, "What's your thoughts on Kieran Tierney? I watch a lot of Celtic, and I can't believe Arsenal got him for 25 million." Apart from Monday, I'm looking forward to seeing what he's all about. He's a player that a lot of United fans have been interested in for a couple of years. It's a big move for him. I'm quite, I suppose I'm like low-key condescending to Scottish players. I always think, John Collins was a really good Celtic player, went to Everton, didn't he? I always think good Premier League Scottish players go to Everton. They don't go to top four clubs, but he has. Well, he's not gone to a top four club, has he? He's gone to Arsenal, but you know what I mean. He's gone to a better club than Everton, so it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. MM Production says, "My wife left me and took the kids." Mark, well, at least you can sit and watch the football in peace. Think of the positives. She'd probably be moaning at you, going, "Why are you watching Sheffield United versus Liverpool? You don't even like football." Tom Davies says, "Has United Stand become a grind?" No, not really. I mean, look, I'd be lying if I said there's days where I don't like doing it, but most of the time I enjoy it. I think I'm very open about mental health, because I think you have to be. And when I say mental health, I'm not talking about suicidal thoughts or anything like that. I just think everybody, and I think this is why social media and especially Instagram is the bad side of it, is this constant. I don't post many pictures on Instagram because it's very rare that I'm actually out looking good. I could post loads of pictures of me looking, a bit dishevelled, eating my breakfast and stuff, but that's not what people want to see, do they? They want to see this fake lifestyle of, glitz and glamour. And I think moods are like that. I've never I've never, and I've worked in lots of things with lots of people, and I know lots of people. I don't know anybody who 24/7 all the time is in a good mood. So, you know, it's all right to be moody sometimes. It's all right to not have a good day. Have you publicly stated your Brexit vote, says Liverpool loyalist? No. I would happily do it. I just think politically it's dangerous. But this game's gone off the boil a little at the moment. It's Liverpool started very fast trying to get that goal, and Sheffield United have had a couple of breakaways. But now it's a lot about. I think Sheffield United have settled. Liverpool have gone down a gear, and they'll go up again a gear soon. Nice ball by Henderson, and nearly got Mane in, but it's with Henderson, the goalkeeper now. Henderson to Henderson. Who remembers the Hendersons? Bigfoot and the Hendersons. That's an old film. I remember that week. You know, it's funny how you probably don't get it, the Ute, but I remember going to the cinema to watch Masters of the Universe, and it was the Cannon Cinema in Nottingham, which doesn't exist anymore. Cannon Cinema in Nottingham. They had 3 showings. I went to watch Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren, which was brilliant at the time, but shit now. And they had Bigfoot and the Hendersons was the other showing, and Inner Space, which is a brilliant film. Inner Space is about Dennis Quaid goes in a little spaceship, gets magnified down small, and goes inside someone's body. I can't even remember why he does it. It's from the 80s. It didn't matter then. People just used to write ideas on the back of a stamp and you go, yeah, we'll commission that. Sheffield United. Oh, it's a good ball into Robinson. Can he get a shot off? Oh, it's gone wide. Adrian was looking at it, and he thinks it's close. He thinks it's close. Nice threaded ball through. It wasn't McMuffin who threaded it through. Robinson shoots. Let's have a look from behind. That's what she said. This is the angle we want. Shoots. Ah, it's crap. Why are you going? Ooh, it was nowhere near, mate. That's nowhere near. It was Fleck who played him through. Absolutely nowhere near. Football fan says, do you think Lampard would be a good manager for Chelsea? I tell you, wake up, mate. I've got some really exciting news for you. He is Chelsea manager. We'll have a look at the Champions League watch-alongs. We will. The next bit of content on this channel will be FIFA tomorrow, lunchtime, career mode, and then into next week we'll have more FIFA. But we've got 2 watch-alongs next week for the Champions League, so I'll have a look at that in a minute. Sheffield United growing into this game quite well at the moment. Nice little layoff by Robinson as Sheffield United venture into the Liverpool half. Can he whip a cross in? No. Well, I think they're going to waste this Sheffield United. Well, they were on the attack and they end up in their own half. What a slip! Oh my life! Liverpool are on the attack now. Sheffield United could be in all sorts of trouble. Good tackle, holds it up. Sheffield United get people back. They could have been in there, Firmino. Rosie Smith says, do you want Sheffield United or Liverpool to win? Obviously, I want Sheffield United to win. Like any Liverpool fan would want United to lose. Jake says Liverpool have got a good style of play, but they do score a lot of goals from set pieces. Well, that's the thing I'm impressed with Klopp, is I think he's built a team that's got so many different aspects to it. If it is a tight 0-0, they've got Matip and Van Dijk who can go and be a threat from set pieces. They can beat teams 4-0. They can play defensive with that midfield. You know, Fabinho, Henderson and Wijnaldum, all grafters. They've got a front 3 that's got individual brilliance in it. They can play team goals. They can do individual goals. They can do set pieces. They can keep clean sheets. It is a title winning side. It's just whether they can break this dominance of Manchester City over a 38-game season. Because I think, you know, I don't agree with Liverpool fans who say we're just unlucky to be playing at a time when Man City play. Well, Arsenal were unlucky in '99 to be playing when a team did what no other team will ever do, which is win the treble. So that Arsenal team was very good. They got knocked out of the FA Cup in extra time, and Bergkamp missed the penalty with the last kick of the game of normal time. They were only just behind Manchester United in the league, and I don't think they were in the Champions League in '99. So you know, you're not unlucky. You're against your competition. So I think that I think the way Klopp set up Liverpool and his purchases and the squad and the way they play is very good. Tuesday night, we're definitely going to do Tottenham versus Bayern Munich, by the way. So that'll be the watch along on Tuesday night. It will be Tottenham versus Bayern Munich, which should be a good one. Join us for that. Somebody just said in the live comments that Martial might be fit for the Arsenal game, which would be great news. Well, great news if you're a Manchester United fan, not so good if you're an Arsenal fan. Liverpool coming forward again. Of course, Manchester United will be training today, so there could be some news on that. Mark, do you have your Arsenal shirt ready for Monday? Says Amy Massey. No, I won't need it, mate. I'm not going to get it on Monday night, so I'm not going to go and buy an Arsenal shirt based on the fact that we might lose. I'll go and get it if we lose. Total waste of money, isn't it? Could go to charity. Mane's in. Good tackle there. Oh, now Salah's in. Shoots. Ooh, just wide. Defensively, I think Sheffield United need to switch on a bit. They're making a bit of mistakes. Don't know whether it's because the pitch is a bit greasy. But, yeah. Did you see how much Pogba wants to earn to stay at United, says Michael Starren? Well, it's paper talk, Michael, isn't it? But apparently he wants to double his money. Just let him go. It's not even like... I'm not one of those fans who dislikes Pogba. I just think... now is the time for him to go. Let him go. As George Kyle says, why go and buy an Arsenal shirt? It's a lot of money to spend on a very old, very overpriced toilet roll. Yeah, Firmino was nearly in one-on-one there because of a Sheffield United slip, but he just puts his head in the way, very Phil Jones-esque, and stops the through ball. See, this is where Liverpool become good. I don't think Liverpool away from home this season have been that good. But they just grind out. They're just a very good team at grinding things out. Sheffield United have been quite good at getting into this final third, but the quality in the final third's not quite been there. Decent cross. Van Dijk gets up. Matip heads away. Secondary shot. Good block. Sheffield United have still got the ball. I'll tell you what, they'd love a corner. Van Dijk and Robertson clears. They're not going to get a corner. Zayn Mayasi says, Mark, you said Pogba wants out and it's not his fault. He's not playing well. He's an employee of the club. He's meant to give 100% no matter what that's in his contract. Well, I don't dispute that Paul Pogba's giving 100%. What people forget about Pogba is you can't say he's not giving 100% if you've watched him for the last 3 years. He just isn't consistent. I think Pogba does give 100%. I just don't think in some games he's just not good enough. Sonny S says, if Liverpool win the league with no transfers and get 100 plus points against billion Euro City team, is this the best league win ever? I tell you what, I don't like to say yes, but you know what, Sonny, you make a valid point. If Liverpool were to win the league this year, having made no transfers in the summer, I would think that would be a very, very big achievement, because I've seen United as title winners in the past, and when you don't buy somebody in the summer, it can make you a little bit complacent. So yeah, it would be good if they did it, wouldn't it, for them? Who else thinks Wijnaldum is criminally underrated, says Fitness and Scripted Sharath Kamath. Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Herrera at United. I don't think he's underrated by Liverpool players and Liverpool fans, but I think he is underrated by the rest of the country. I mean, you very rarely hear the mainstream media talking about Wijnaldum, do you? So yeah, I think he is. It reminds me a lot of Herrera. Who's your favourite singer, says FIFA Gamer? Dolly Parton. How can you be both inconsistent and always give 100%, says Robin Young. Very easy. Of course you can be inconsistent because your talent can be inconsistent. You know, this is where people go wrong at Manchester United Football Club, and maybe people go wrong at other clubs. People think if you give 100%, that's a good performance. You know, talent is the main thing. Giving 100% doesn't mean, you know, if you give 100% doesn't mean you're going to have a good game. I think Pogba gives 100% in every game. I just think his talent lets him down at times. 100% should be a given anyway. If I went and played for United against Arsenal on Monday night, I'd give 110%. I'd be so proud. I'd be absolutely shit. But, you know, effort doesn't mean you're going to be good on the pitch, does it? As Al098 says, because they're different things completely, Robin. What are you having or had for lunch, Mark, says Lennon14. I'll tell you what I've had for lunch. I've had a packet of Quavers. Salah's down injured. He's rolling about a bit as well. I think his arm got trodden on. Don't hurt his arm. He'll have Liverpool fans doing petitions and everything to get the game replayed. Stevens it was. Let's watch it. Nah, he sort of trod on his hand. I don't think there's anything sinister in it. Well, he doesn't even tread on his hand. I don't know where the contact comes from. Must have been the first phase. Mark Harley said before the Liverpool game in February that no matter the injuries, Manchester United should still win, and looks like Jose kidnapped him and is wearing his mask, says Prithwar Prasad. Any comment on Liverpool's Carabao Cup expulsion, says Arcadias. So this is because they played a player that was ineligible. I mean, if they get kicked out, the rules are the rules. You can't argue with that, but I don't think Liverpool would really lose any sleep about it, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Rules are rules, though, aren't they? If they've played an ineligible player, and I don't know the full details of it, then you know it is cheating. Cheating's cheating, isn't it? And it would be unfortunate, but, you know, those are the rules. I can't imagine why they would have done that, though. Probably just be a fine, says George Kyle. Can you do a Rugby World Cup watch-along, says Chris Sparks. God, no. I don't know enough about the rules. I like watching it. I don't know enough about the rules. Barca versus Inter on Wednesday. That should be good, says Chom Chelsea 8. Let's have a quick look at the fixtures, actually, for Wednesday. So we're going to do Bayern Munich versus Spurs on Tuesday. I think that's the best game of the Champions League ties on Tuesday. So let's have a look at that. Back to football. Still 0-0 in this one. Half an hour gone. Sheffield United have settled into it nicely. So yeah, Real Madrid, Club Brugge, Galatasaray, PSG, Red Star, Olympiacos, Spurs, Man City, Dinamo Zagreb, Juventus, Bayer. Yeah, best game on Tuesday is Spurs versus Bayern Munich, so we'll do that one. And then on Wednesday, Liverpool versus FC Red Bull. Nah, boring. Genk, Napoli, boring. Lille versus Chelsea. Yeah, it's definitely Barcelona versus Inter Milan on Wednesday night then. We're sorted. We're sorted, everybody. And Mane has missed an amazing chance, one-on-one. As we look back at the screen, I thought he'd put it in. He doesn't seem too fussed, and he springs the offside trap from Van Dijk. It's basic, and he's got to score. He's dead central. He gets there first, and he sort of catches it with the outside of his foot, straight over the top by Van Dijk, and he's running through perfectly, and he just doesn't catch the ball correctly. Should be 1-0 to Liverpool. Very, very good chance for Mane. And Klopp claps him, keeping the positivity on the pitch. But Poor defending from Sheffield United to get caught out by a simple ball over the top. Mane's pace getting him away, and then one-on-one, he's just got to lift it over the goalkeeper or smash the arse off it, and he puts it wide. Should have buried it, says Sandy Jack. And David Webster says he's in my fantasy football team. Typical. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we're getting closer and closer to 100,000 subscribers, which would be just great for this channel. Really great. So if you like, just, you know, everybody's welcome, watching games and having a bit of chat and stuff, this is the place for it. You're very welcome this Saturday lunchtime. The sun is out in Sheffield now. It was chucking it down at the start of the game, but half an hour in, 35 minutes in, still 0-0. You feel that Liverpool will get the goal, don't you? I don't think Sheffield United have got enough quality to hurt Liverpool, but Mane better than Salah, says Fitness Unscripted Sharath Kamath. A lot of Liverpool fans feel like that. I mean, I would listen to a Liverpool fan about that, what they really think. I'm a big fan of Salah, but Mane over the last sort of this calendar year seems to be more consistent. Pritwash Placid says, Mark, Ollie changed this formation ever since he got the permanent job. It's not because of Herrera, I think. Thoughts? Salah's in here, again in the box. Thoughts? Can we still play 4-3-3 without Herrera? Yeah, of course we can. Of course we can. Robertson's going to get a shot off. Well wide. Goal kick. Edge of the box fell to him. He thought, I'll have some of that. Aaron Marusi says, can you show us your fantasy football team? Yeah, there it is. Doesn't exist. I don't play it anymore. I ain't got the time to play it. I like it. I just don't play it anymore. Because when I used to play it, I would be like spending hours sort of doing research, and now I don't. Apparently, James Conte says that City's under-21s beat Rochdale. Don't know whether that's true or not. I think with any Arsenal-Manchester United combined 11, Bill Clint, you know, Arsenal fans are going to be swaying towards their players. I tried to keep my United-Arsenal combined 11 truthful, because at the moment I'm not happy with most of the United team, but the whole back five of United gets in over Arsenal's defence. Arsenal's defence is a joke, an absolute joke. As I said yesterday, if you try and use your password for banking as Arsenal's defence, you'll get a phone call from your bank saying it's too weak. They're crap. So United's defence, the whole back five is United. Into the midfield, Arsenal can put whoever they want in the midfield. I'd agree with them, apart from Paul Pogba would have to play. So Pogba gets in. And then in the front three, they can have Pepe and Aubameyang, but Martial plays. I don't know how an Arsenal fan could argue with the whole back five being United and then just Pogba and Martial, and they can have the rest. I think that is spot on. And I think anybody who says any different, United or Arsenal fan, is just being biased. Because I'm happy to let two Arsenal players and two Arsenal attackers in the midfield and in the attack, but not in the defence. You're not having anyone. Mark, United goalie is playing here. Dean Henderson says Fitness and Scripted Sharath Kamath. Yes, he's not really had a save to make. He might have now. Andy Robertson with the cross. Edge of the box. Wijnaldum. Way over. Liverpool a bit wasteful at the moment. Mark, do you think it's a good idea to play fast-paced attacking football without any attackers? I'm just wondering, says Miss MS Smiley. Well, I'm glad you're wondering and you're not worrying, because there's absolutely... Manchester United against Arsenal are going to park the bus again. We're going to play two centre defensive midfielders in front of a back five, and we're going to try and soak pressure and get a penalty or something on the break. That's how we're going to play against Arsenal. We will not attack them, which in itself is quite annoying, but it doesn't mean we won't win. I watched the darts at Christmas, Rick Minitus. I don't have time to really watch it any other time. RAM says, Mark, please get the Man United app. Why? Like, what's it going to bring to my life? So Matt, shots on target. Sheffield United are the only team to have a shot on target so far. They've had 4 shots to Liverpool's 6. Liverpool yet to have a shot on target. Egan's just gone through the back of Firmino. Free kick. Michael Staron says, do you think Greenwood will start on Monday? I think he's got to start, unless this news about Martial's true. Socrates over Lindelof, maybe. Well, you could say Tierney over Shaw, but I ain't going to do that because people are just Arsenal fans are putting Tierney over Shaw because he played against Forest in the Carabao Cup. I mean, he's got to go and play properly. I think in a month or two, yeah. But right now, I'll take Shaw over Tierney because I'm not going to predict anything. It'd be like last season putting Fred in ahead of Xhaka on a reputation. But actually Fred had a terrible season. You'd have to put Xhaka over him. So, you can't put people in combined 11s just because you think they might be a good signing. There's got to be an element of fact to it. Zayn Miassi says, Mark, don't you think United pay way over the odds for players? Maguire, Pogba, Lukaku, almost $250 million. That's why Woodward is useless. Yes, I would agree with you on that one, Zayn. We did overpay on Lukaku. I don't think we overpaid on Pogba. I think you're probably going to have to pay that to get him out of Juventus. Maguire, we probably technically didn't overpay on Maguire because Van Dijk went from Southampton for 75 million. Here's McMuffin, terrible control, and Liverpool clear. And I know Van Dijk's the best centre-back in the world at the moment, but when he went from Southampton, he wasn't. And it was a lot of money. It was a very good buy, but it was a lot of money. So I can see why Leicester wanted 80 million. You get what clubs are willing to pay, don't you? United were desperate. Leicester knew it and didn't want to sell. I tell you, I'm really tired today. I couldn't get to sleep. I don't know about any of you lot, but I didn't even know this existed till last night when I was looking it up. I've always known. I like a coffee, but I'll always drink decaf now because I always sort of noticed that if I had a coffee, I'd struggle. Even if I had it in the morning, I'd struggle to get to sleep at night, and I'd get my heart would start racing, and I'd get anxiety. And apparently, this is prime symptoms for hypersensitivity to caffeine. Well, yesterday we went to the cinema and I had a Starbucks coffee, and apparently Starbucks coffee has the most caffeine in out of anybody. So last night I was really heart racing, my mind was racing, and I was like, I ain't gonna try and go to sleep because I'm just gonna start, thinking all sorts of weird shit. So I ended up watching about 3 or 4 episodes of my latest box set, but I was up till 2, and then I was up at just after 7. So I'm knackered today. Hello from Norway, says Andreas Asabi. Hello. Liam EFC says, I love the smell of coffee, but I hate the taste. Isn't it funny how you can love the smell of something but hate the taste? I love the smell of dog food, but I hate the taste. I don't now, but as a kid I used to love the smell of pedigree chum. And I think I tried it once and it's disgusting. So now get in the comments with things that smell nice but taste horrible. Candles. Don't eat candle wax. It's disgusting. Here's Salah on the break. They've got a sort of 4v2 here. And Salah, this is a goal. Into Firmino. He's got to score. Into Mane. Hits the post. Firmino. Oh, how have they not scored there? Bloody hell. Mane hits the post. They had them stacked like a game of rugby. It was one pass to another person. There it is. The goal's in front of you. Firmino maybe should have shot first. I think Firmino should shoot, but it's not on his stronger foot. Into Mane. Oh, Mane's got to score. Mane has got to score. 2 sitters missed today. Will they score from the corner though? Because that's the thing. Liverpool have got such a good threat from corners. Can Sheffield United hold out to half time? Hi Mark, how are you pleased with Sheffield United and their football? Says Demas Moha. I think Sheffield United haven't surprised me, to be honest. We've not really seen anything in relation to attacking intent from them because I just don't think they've got the quality. But I think what Sheffield United have got, bit of ping pong, head tennis, and it's an offside anyway, so Sheffield United will clear. And Sheffield United looking good to get to half time here, 0-0. But no, I think Sheffield United remind me of teams like Huddersfield and Burnley, teams that can graft and get points, but when they come up against the top six, you're going to need a bit of luck, and they've had a bit of luck so far. Mane's missed 2 very good opportunities, and I don't know whether Liverpool have actually had a shot on target yet. I suppose hitting the post is obviously not on target. So they rode their luck a little bit. It's just there's a quality gap. There's a quality gap. Lewis Gill says petrol. I tell you what I used to love when I used to go to the football when I was really young. There's these sort of cafe creme cigars that when you used to be able to smoke at the football, and there was this guy about 3 rows down from us, and he'd always have one at half time. Great header by Matip, and it's a corner. McMuffin nearly got on the end of it. He wanted a foul, Matip. It's a corner. Good defensive header by Matip, who I think is another player. Matip is another player who's grossly underrated. But yeah, cigars smell nice, and having smoked cigars, they don't taste nice. Check out Joe Cole, Crouchy talking Glazers out. Why? None of them have played for Manchester United. I think on things like that, by all means have an opinion, but Joe Cole played for Liverpool and so did Peter Crouch. I got no interest, really. I'd rather listen to a United fan than talk to them, than listen to them. I mean, their opinions are probably valid, but they don't follow the club like we follow the club, so I'm not really that interested in what outsiders have got to say about Manchester United Football Club. Mark Maguire is no Van Dijk. He's good, but more 30 to 40 million, says Amy Assey. But he's not though, is he? He's England's best centre-back. He's English. He's Premier League proven. He's easily 60 million. I think that's half time. It will be half time. It is half time. Let's stop the clock, everybody. So 0-0 at half time. It certainly is evenly poised, and Mason says, let me know, Mason, in the live comments if that's a recent one or not, because I always like to go and watch those. Thoughts on the Koulibaly rap, says Hawk said. I think it's funny. I think it's had its day. We're not going to be signing Koulibaly, unfortunately. United will not beat Sheffield United even with the full squad if the manager is clueless, says ST. I think this is exactly the sort of game that United would lose at the moment, to be fair. A team that, it's like Rochdale. It's like Astana. Teams that maybe don't have the quality but have the heart and passion, United struggle with at the moment. Rick Manuta says, well done to Sheffield United. Boring game, says Gordon OK. Depends what sort of football connoisseur you are, mate. Depends what sort of football connoisseur you are, man. For me, I like football. And there's really, there's lots of permutations, man. And I like football. So 0-0. People say it's boring. I like it. And I do like it though. I like it because it's an underdog against Premier League favourites for me. There's levels to my football enjoyment, and that sort of game, if that stayed 0-0 till the last 10 minutes, I'd quite like that. Because you're rooting for the underdog. Al as 098 says, you'll be surprised they made very good points. I'm very surprised if Joe Cole makes a good point. He just comes across as a bit of a thick prat to me, but maybe I'm being a bit unfair. Mark, would you like to see Manchester United play with overlapping centre-backs in an attacking system like Sheffield United? Overlapping centre-backs? I've not noticed any overlapping centre-backs in that game, Kirkham 1-1-1. Mark, what do you think of Norwich player Bundia? Says Fitness and Scripted Sharath Kamath. I'm going to put my hands up and say I haven't watched a lot of Norwich. I think the only game I've watched of Norwich, which hasn't been on Match of the Day, was the Man City game. But you know what? You should never judge any player off Match of the Day, because if you watch a United game, then you watch Match of the Day highlights. You'll be like, oh, they didn't even put that in. They didn't put that in. It's very, very, very scripted, obviously. Mark, is it true United tried to sign Kane a while back? Do you think he would have made a difference? And also, can you understand him when he talks, as I can't, says Amy Massey. I like Harry Kane. You will not hear any Harry Kane taking the piss from my mouth, to be honest with you. I like Harry Kane. I'd welcome him at Manchester United. I think he's exactly the sort of striker United need. Consistent, hard-working, talented, holds the ball up. He'd be brilliant at United. So I like Harry Kane. I don't think United have really made any move for him, because the reality is with Harry Kane, it's ridiculously hard to get a player like that out of Spurs. And whether he would consider coming to Manchester United in the future is interesting. But I like Harry Kane, I do. Do you rate Cherney, says Rennie Kelly? I do, but there's a big difference between the Scottish Premier League and the this league that we're in. So I think that let's see what happens with it, really. I think that he's got to play Premier League football. I think he's got a lot of potential, but he's got to play Premier League football. See how he gets on. Yeah. Simple as that, innit? Know what I'm saying? Simple as that. I still think Liverpool will come out on top. Yeah, I mean, look, Liverpool are mad big favourites in this game, aren't they? So I still think they'll come out on top. Ezra says, I had a chat with a Spurs fan who would love to do a swap deal with Martial and Kane. I tell you what, I'm never speechless, but there's layers to that. I mean, would I swap Martial for Kane? I probably wouldn't. Would a Spurs fan want to swap Martial for Kane? I can't see why. So, no, I don't get that one, to be honest. Red Jedi, welcome to the Zane and Goldbridge show. And trust me, I'm a season ticket holder for Ross County. It's a big difference, says Sandy Jack. And if Ollie out this Christmas, who would be the best manager who should replace him, Mark, says John Lim. I think it's sad that we're actually at that point. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, by the way. That's football. Very different to the United Stand. We do all sorts of watch-alongs on here, FIFA 20 content. Everybody's welcome on here. It's sort of like that laid-back, everybody welcome, talk about football. I think That's Football for me started because I watch a lot of football other than Manchester United. And I thought, why not do some watch-alongs and FIFA stuff? So everyone's welcome on here. Doesn't matter whether even if you're an Arsenal fan, you're welcome. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about replacements for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because I'm not convinced that this board has any intention of getting rid of him anyway. And I think the minute you start thinking about replacements, you sort of get your hopes up. So I'm still very much Ollie in, although I'm not convinced he's going to be successful. And I think to even start thinking about replacements is a bit disrespectful anyway. But actually, as I said last night on the United Stand, we've tried the club legend. We've tried the up-and-coming Premier League manager in Moyes. We've tried the experienced I've done everything manager in Van Gaal. And we've tried the best manager in the world at the time in Mourinho. So we've tried lots of different things. I think United should go for a proven up-and-coming attacking coach. That's what they should do. They missed the trick not getting Klopp from Dortmund. They missed the trick not getting Pep. I think this time I would be looking for somebody like that. So not a Simeone. Not a Simeone for me. What's your thoughts on the young lad Odegaard? Wouldn't he be perfect to massively improve our midfield, says Tobias Grenfell? But he's a Real Madrid player. He's a Real Madrid player. Why would Real Madrid sell them to us? And Dex Tempest says, hi Mark, I'm a Liverpool fan. Didn't know Sheffield United were this solid at defending. We're getting joy with long balls. Hope we can get a winner. I think you will. I think you will get over the line, mate. But it's Sheffield United. This is why I wanted to do this watch along today. I don't watch a lot of teams outside of the top six, but they've got some pretty impressive results. I mean, 2-0 down against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and we know Chelsea are a work in progress, but we also know Chelsea are a good team under Lampard. Everton away, yeah, okay, Everton have been struggling a little bit. They're very inconsistent, but to go to Goodison Park and win 2-0, they're a good team, and they're well organised, and they fight for each other, which is, it's just whether they're going to be able to keep that up. I still think Sheffield United might go down, because I think we're only in September, but when you hit like November and you're playing every week, have they got that squad depth and tempo to do this week to week? It's very hard. But at the moment they're doing really well. Oh! Fitness and Scripted Sharath Kamath says Buendia is really good. He can play 10 and as a winger, just in case United don't spend next summer for Maddison. Peppermint tea. I love it. I do like peppermint tea. Masanga Kent says, hi Mark, hypothetically speaking, would you still want Laurent Blanc as manager? Yes. Yes, I wanted Laurent Blanc as manager after Mourinho. I did a set of videos on the international break a year ago after that Newcastle game where everyone wanted Mourinho sacked just before it. And I did a set of videos and there was Jardim, Pochettino, Zidane and Laurent Blanc. They were the 4 candidates that I quite liked the look of. I mean, what's happened to Jardim? Is he back at Monaco? But he was the outsider. Laurent Blanc, I think, has got a lot of qualities that I think he could be good at United. Of course, he's a risk. But I still think Pochettino and Zidane would obviously be... Well, Zidane's probably not going to happen, is it? You know, he's at Real Madrid. If Sheffield says up, Wilder deserves manager of the year, says Luke Guardiola. Yes, I do. I agree with that. And I think the Norwich manager falls into that equation as well. Let's not forget that, you know, Villa have spent a lot of money, but Sheffield United and Norwich haven't really spent that much. But Liverpool should be 1-0 up here. Mane's had 2 absolute... A player of his quality, you'd expect him to score both of those. Real House of Comedy says Arsenal are going to beat United by 3-1. Your name's very apt, is what I would reply to that with. Real House of Comedy, and then you come out with that. Which Spurs players do you think will leave at the end of the season, says Ren Kelly? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the contract situation is. I think Eriksen's going to go. The fact that he's out of contract next summer and he hasn't signed a new one, I think he's going to go. Eddie Howe to United, says Lewis White. Not for me. Not for me. I think Eddie Howe needs to go to Everton. Marco Silva out, Eddie Howe in. That's the next job for Eddie Howe. See what he does there. I think that's the most logical thing. Zane says that Ollie was never the right coach and no top coach will come until the Glazers leave United. It's a poison chalice. Only up-and-coming managers will want to come, not established world-class managers. I think in relation to Manchester United, you'd be surprised at the amount of people... I'm sounding like Ollie now. You'll be surprised at the quality of players that want to come to our club, then no one comes. But I think that if I was a manager, like... if I was Zidane and I was free, or if I was... a Simeone or someone like that, and Manchester United knocked on my door, my ego would make me want to take that job. Like, you can't do much worse than where United are now. You know, we had a terrible start to the season, we had a terrible end to the season. Moyes was crap, Van Gaal ended up being crap, and Mourinho ended up being crap. So if you come in as this manager, it's not like you're going to be blamed. You'd be the 5th manager since Sir Alex Ferguson, and I think most people would expect you to fail anyway. So if you are, most managers are egotistical. What a challenge to be the man. I think the United job is very, very difficult, but I also think it's the best job in football because I'm biased, but also because what an opportunity. If you're the person to turn this around, I mean, you're biblical. You know what I mean? You're absolutely biblical. So yeah, it's let's see how it goes, but I don't think Solskjaer's going anytime soon. What I would say is, an up-and-coming manager would probably take the job out of naivety, thinking, yeah, I'll take the job, I can do it. An established manager, if they've got any sense, would say, I'm only going to take the job if you're going to give me 200 million in the first summer. Because if you come in with no money, you're going to set yourself up to fail. Doesn't matter. You know, you could put Pop or Klopp, or you could put Pep or Klopp in charge of Manchester United and they would fail if they didn't have money to spend because it's a very hard job. Manchester is blue, says Flex and Rants got heated quick. Yeah, make sure if you are interested in the United versus Arsenal game, go on the United Stand channel and watch the video that we've just put up with Troops and Rants and Flex. It goes off a lot through the video, but the biggest argument is between Flex and Rants on Solskjaer. And Troops is just sat there going, hey, this is great. Southampton manager does look good. He does, Sibisi. Please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner, and make sure you share the video as well. That's football. We're going to do Spurs versus Bayern Munich on Tuesday night, and Inter Milan versus Barcelona on Wednesday night. So that's your next 2 watch-alongs. But of course, FIFA 20 career mode on here as well as normal football chat. Zayn Miassi says Laurent Blanc has not proved it like him because he's an ex-player. I don't know what you're on about, Zayn. Sometimes you need to just work on your before you hit submit, type it. I mean, but Laurent Blanc is proven. He's managed France, PSG, Bordeaux. He's played for Barcelona and France and Manchester United. He took a Bordeaux team with very little money spent, a lot of youth talent, playing good attacking football, and won the French league. I think he won the league every year at PSG and just got the sack because he couldn't win the Champions League, even though they've never won it. And he did okay, he took over the France squad at a very difficult time. So, he's a risk. Of course, he's a risk. But I've always quite liked the look of Laurent Blanc, the football manager. He's got himself into some dodgy situations because of some of the stuff he said. I would admit that. Lingard's going to score tomorrow, says Anu Singh. At least he'll be training well. The game's on Monday. Roy Keane would be a great manager. No, he wouldn't, Kyle. He really, really wouldn't. And what do you think of Leicester? Love your channel, says Hamo10. I think Leicester are a really interesting team this season. I always liked Brendan Rodgers at Swansea. Then he went to Liverpool and I didn't like him because Liverpool are my big rival. And then now he's at Leicester. I quite like him again. Celtic, it was irrelevant. My gran could go and manage Celtic, rest in peace, and win the title. And but Leicester are a good team. 1 to 11, they're a good team. They play good football. They genuinely could be top 6 this season. No European football to distract them, so fitness-wise, they should be good every week. The trouble Leicester are going to have is like Newcastle tomorrow. If Leicester are going to finish in the top 6, you've got to pick up the points against the bottom half of the table. Can Leicester beat Sheffield United? Yeah, they went to Bramall Lane a couple of weeks ago and won 2-1. Can they beat Newcastle tomorrow? Let's find out. Leicester beat Spurs last week. So Leicester were unlucky against United. That's, it was a penalty. If we hadn't got the penalty against Leicester, I don't know whether we would have won the game. We might have got a draw, which would have been a good result for Leicester. So I think Leicester have got they're the only team I think that can break into the top 6 this season. Look at the starts from Wolves and Watford and Bournemouth and Everton. The consistency isn't there, and I don't think West Ham will be consistent. So Leicester are the team that can do it. I just need convincing by Leicester that they can pick up the points you need to pick up against the bottom half tables. And Newcastle tomorrow is a big test for them. Who's going to win the Premier League, says Jordan Cowland? Well, my prediction was Liverpool. Begrudgingly, Liverpool. I think most people still think Man City. Am I a Liverpool fan? Says non-zero. No, definitely not. You couldn't be further from the bloody truth, mate. I think what I am is I'm a resigned Manchester United fan who absolutely, like many United fans, after 6 years, realises how far away we are and how bad we are, and as a coping mechanism has to look at rivals like Liverpool and Man City and say they're miles ahead of us. I don't want them to win anything, but the reality is they're miles ahead of us, and you've just got to appreciate the fact that they deserve it more than us at the moment. I hate to say it, but I'm not going to start coming out with stupid comments like, yeah, we can beat Liverpool, we can win the title. That rivalry doesn't exist at the moment. It's just rivalry because we don't like each other. But we're not rivals in relation to ability. Liverpool are streets ahead, and Liverpool are playing United straight after the international break, and I think I can't see how United could ever win that game. But Liverpool on the attack here. Inter Firmino, Sheffield United, clear. Farhan Atta has got a good one for you there. He says Sterling or Mane. And Sheffield United have got a corner here. Good run into the box from Fleck. Tries to get it across the face of the goal, and Van Dijk is there, and it's raining again. But really good run from Fleck. Henderson cannot stop him. Cross comes in. Van Dijk is always there, to be fair. But it is a corner, and these are the sort of situations that they'll be looking to take advantage of. So Sterling or Mane in the live comments. We've got a corner here for Sheffield United. I'm having a think about that. I think I'd go Sterling. And Van Dijk wins the header. And Trent Alexander-Arnold keeps it in. And Salah knocks it out for a throw-in. Cobra Lord 123 FIFA God says it's sad when a United fan is watching Liverpool. Yeah, I think it's sad that you don't understand the concept of the channel, mate. It's a channel where people can just, everybody's welcome. And as I've said many times before, I don't just watch Manchester United. Manchester United is my football club, but I don't just wait for Monday night and go and paint the fence. Like, there's 2 or 3 matches I'll probably watch today. This is one of them. So I'm doing, rather than sitting... Actually, I think this is better than sitting in the living room watching Liverpool play Sheffield United on my own, because at least I can chat with you lot. Basically, that's football's for games where I'm going to be watching them anyway, so may as well do a watch-along. That's what it's all about. Football fans like football, says Sandy Jack. Exactly. That's what this channel's all about. It's for people who like football. Yeah, we've all got our team that we support. But I know, I've always watched loads of football. And you never know. It could be really well worth watching for a United fan if Liverpool don't win. I think they will. I think they will get another chance. But Liverpool have been very good at this season anyway. I'm going to have a look at that in a minute. Cleared there. Liverpool have been very good at this season. I remember the Southampton game. It was very, very close. Very close. And they ground out the result in the second half. So Liverpool have been very, very good at this. And of course, if they do get the result here, then they'll be hoping Everton, their neighbours, do them a favour at Goodison Park later on today, which is the 5:30 kickoff, if anyone's watching that. So Liverpool this season, so far in their away games, they beat Burnley on the opening day comfortably 3-0. Then they only beat Southampton 2-1. Their first game of the season away was Southampton. They beat them 2-1. They beat Burnley 3-0 away. They've been to Chelsea and won 2-1 away. So actually, this is only their third game away from home, actually. But make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like it. Jordan Touch says, Mark, given United have said about long term, does that make you think Ollie stays regardless of a 12th place finish? Because in the now terms, it seems a club team is just going through the motions. I don't care whether it's Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, whatever. If you finish 12th, you should get the sack. Whether they would sack him or not, I think you make a valid point. But, United, if they finish 12th, he should get the sack. Because Manchester United's squad might not be that great. But it ain't 12th. Like, it's better than... United should be finishing 6th and no lower. I think 6th is understandable. Anything lower is failure. Jack Brady says, Mark, you need to restart your career mode. They fixed it so the top 6 won't always be relegated. I mean, that's such a shame to have to start it again. Do you think I should start it again? What's everybody's thoughts? It's a bit of a pain in the backside to start it again, but, the career mode is broken. Make Blanc did well at PSG, as it's a rubbish league. Did you see how good Arsenal's youngsters are? I think they will cause you problems on Monday, says Zane Massey. Zane, stop making contributions now. You've gone weird and wrong. Like, you're talking about youngsters playing against United on Monday, which they won't. He won't play youngsters. And I've already told you, like Blanc did well at PSG, but yeah, you're right, they've got a load of money. But he won the league with Bordeaux, and that's what I'm more interested in. What a cross that was, and it's Van Dijk again on a mad one. Playing very, very well. I tell you what, I think if Liverpool didn't have Van Dijk, they would lose more games. A few people saying start again. I think you should start again. And Harry Spears says it's not been fixed yet anyway. I would go with Harry there. I doubt it's been fixed yet. I doubt it's been fixed. Pratic says the Flex and Rant show was epic. Mark with troops. Good. What are your opinions on Watford this season, says Matthew Goodyear. I think they are terrible at the back. I think that the Flores will keep them up. But considering you were top half of the league last year, the drop-off has been ridiculous. And I think it's because defensively you're just not good enough. Henderson's down injured here by slamming into his own player. Morton Mickey Olsen says, I hope you're having a good day. Love your channels. The most sane United fan there. You watching Chelsea today? No, I won't. I'm not watching any of the 3 o'clock kickoffs today because I'm going down the pub. So I'll be keeping an eye on the scores, but I'm not going to watch any of the games. Chelsea will blast Brighton. They'll win that comfortably. Who would I like to see come up from the Championship? Says Alex. Well, we can have a look because we've got a break in the play here. Championships is always a weird league. I must admit, I'm going to put my hands up in here. I haven't really took any notice of the Championship this year, so this is going to be like exciting for me to look at the league. Forest the top of the league, bloody hell! Well, there you go. I didn't even bloody know that. I think that proves I'm not a bloody Forest fan. Sheffield United nearly scored. They nearly scored. Cross comes in. McBurney gets there, flicks it. He wants a goal. He wants a corner. It's one of them front post ones. I don't know why he wants a corner. He should have scored. Up he goes. McBurney gets his head on it. Oh no, I think it does flip off somebody. So Forest the top, unbeaten in their last 5 on 18 points. But I mean, I say Forest the top. It doesn't really mean anything. So Forest the top on 18 points. Leeds are second, but they played a game less on 17. Then you've got Swansea on 17, West Brom on 17, QPR on 17, and you've got Preston on 16, Fulham on 15, and Bristol on 15. So it's tighter than a duck's arse, that is. But to be honest with you, I would be ecstatic if Leeds, Forest, and Sheffield Wednesday came up, because they're old traditional clubs that were always, they've got big fan bases, and I think they'd be good for the Premier League. So I would go with those. Red Jedi says, "I'm back. Is Zane still desperate for attention?" There's a bit of a needle in there, isn't there, between Red Jedi and Zane? He's been told off. He might have gone away now. George Kyle says Forest are a classic Premier League team. Sheffield Wednesday as well. I wouldn't say Leeds are a classic Premier League team, because when I was growing up, they weren't actually in the top league in the 80s, late 80s. Leeds. Obviously they got promoted and they won it in 91, didn't they? The last year of the first division. And they were around for a bit, but they've got a big fan base, Leeds, and they've got a good cross comes in, Henderson grabs hold of it easy, and they've got a big rivalry with United, so I'd like that. The more big games the better, and I think, I look forward to playing Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Spurs, and if you add Leeds in there, it's another exciting game. So kicking Brighton out for Leeds, I'm all for that. Mane, I think he wasn't looking for a penalty there. Blackburn Rovers says Brooklyn Clough, not really. Ooh, it's a bit late. I think it'd be a harsh penalty because the ball's gone. No, it's not going to be given. I live in Preston and I support them and Liverpool. I hope United finish higher than City, says non-zero shrimps. What's the story with Ravel Morrison then? He is on loan at Sheffield United, isn't he? So why is he not playing? I don't get that. I haven't had a bet on in ages, Anthony Doherty. I do Football Index, actually. But I haven't had a bet on for a while. West Brom are a big team, says Tabish. But I live in the Midlands. I don't think West Brom are a big team. Sorry, West Brom fans. I don't think West Brom are a big team. I think Villa are a big team. I don't think West Brom are. And West Brom sort of bore me in the Champions in the Premier League, if I'm honest with you. So no, I'm not overawed with having West Brom back. They've had their time. On paper, who do I think's got the best team? Kieran Walker, United or Arsenal? Yeah, Arsenal at the moment. I don't think United have got a better team on paper than Leicester. So I'd have to say Arsenal. I'm totally. My eyes are wide open about how bad United are. I mean, you can't pretend any other. This is why United fans like Flex and Rants are falling out, because everybody's got a lot of very passionate opinions around United at the moment. Rashford or Martial, says Randika. Martial every day of the week. He's the better player. I haven't watched Lukaku at Inter Milan, Shabahat, so I think that the watch along on Wednesday night, Inter versus Barcelona, is going to be an absolute cracker. Join us for that on That's Football. Subscribe if you are new, bottom right hand corner. So yeah, we'll be seeing Lukaku at Inter Milan and his first touch. They keep showing this Mane thing. It probably is a penalty, technically. It's definitely a FIFA penalty. He's kicked the ball already, and then he's been caught by the Sheffield United player. That's a penalty on FIFA, the game. But I don't know whether it's a penalty in real life. Sheffield United are a bit all over the place at the moment, but there's a free kick for Liverpool, about 30 yards out. Tackled. It was the tackle on Salah. Started to get a bit ragged, Sheffield United. Do you think Ravel Morrison was the best talent since Ronaldo at United, says Zamiasi? No, I actually don't. You know why? And I'm glad I'm glad somebody's asked that, because I've said this a few times on the United stand. I don't really give a shit about all these youth players that they're the next big thing. I've watched football for enough years now to know that I've heard so many players out of the United youth system that are the next this, the next that. Luke Chadwick, all those years ago, was apparently going to be the next Giggs, and he wasn't. He ended up at MK Dons. And there are so many players every few years that people go, oh, they're going to be great, they're going to be great, they're going to be great. And a lot of the time they're not. So I don't watch a lot of youth football, because unless I'm really in the mood for it, I think, well, even if they're good in a youth game, they're playing against people their own age. You find out about a player when they play in the first team. So Ravel Morrison, in the first team for United, never made it. Why didn't he make it? Attitude. So I ain't got anything to say about his talent, because I never saw his talent in a United first team shirt. I'll judge a youth talent means nothing unless they do it in the first team. So there you go. He could have been the best. I don't disagree with that, but he didn't. Phil Jones was the next Duncan Edwards. Is probably the worst. George Carl said that. Well, George Carl has put it in the comments. Sir Alex Ferguson said that, and that's probably one of his. That's right up there with Jemba Jemba, that is, and Beppe. That is, and what's his name? Tasibi, the goalkeeper. Sir Alex Ferguson's the greatest sports manager there's ever been, but he did make some howlers, like we all do. Sheffield United making a substitution here. Robinson's coming off. I think he looked like he could be a threat, but he's not really got into the game. So they're bringing on another player who looks like he might be a sort of like-for-like replacement, Muzay. Looks like he's got a bit of pace and physicality about him. So, maybe ruffle up Van Dijk a bit. Robinson's not been able to do it so far. Instrumental Plug says, was Lingard good in the youth team? I think he was part of a good youth team. I don't think he was like the standout player. I mean, to be fair to Lingard, he went on loan to Birmingham and scored 4 goals on his debut, didn't he? Liquid says Jesse Lingard is the next John Barnes. John Barnes was actually very good. He was crap for England, but for Liverpool, God, he was brilliant. I remember Barnes and Beardsley and Aldridge. Oh, they were just. That's why I hate Liverpool. Because when I was really young, I grew up with that Liverpool dominance, and a couple of my mates supported Liverpool, and I just didn't like Liverpool. I never did, and especially John Aldridge. He had a face you just couldn't stand, but they were so good. And Barnes and Beardsley were brilliant. It's sad what's happened to Peter Beardsley, actually, with the bullying stuff at Newcastle, that he's been suspended or done for. But it just shows you, just because a player's a good player doesn't mean they're not an obed off the pitch. Mark, do you think if we leave the EU, will no deal, it will affect player transfers, says Zane Miassi? I don't know, Zane. Politically, I don't know how that's going to happen, to be honest. David Bentley was the next Beckham, yeah, Kirkham. And there was no doubting that Bentley, Arsenal fans would say the same. Bentley was a good talent, but never realised it, really. Devon JW says, do you have an opinion on Steven Gerrard being the next manager for Liverpool? I think it's written in the stars, isn't it? But if I was a Liverpool manager, I wouldn't want Klopp to be going anywhere for 10 years. I think the longer you have Klopp, the more success you're going to have. Gerrard, would any Liverpool fan be excited if I said you can have Klopp for 2 years and then you get Gerrard? I think some Liverpool fans would be. But I would tell you, I would never get Gerrard if it meant you were going to get Klopp for 10 years, because Klopp's a very, very good manager. Very good manager. There's a yellow card here. Bit of time wasting from Sheffield United. I'll tell you what, and I've got to be honest with you, this stripy kits are shit. They're boring. Whether it's bloody Stoke or Brighton or Sheffield Wednesday, they're boring kits. You can't really, like when the Liverpool kit comes on and comes out, or the United kit comes out, or the Arsenal kit comes out, and you begrudgingly go, that looks good, unless it's a United one. There's not a lot you can do with a stripy kit. But I've got to be honest, I quite like that Sheffield United kit. Henderson's come off for Origi. Lacazette was the next Charlie Austin, says Goldbridge, says Fitness and Scripture Sharath. He is the French Charlie Austin. So Liverpool have got about half an hour here to get a goal. And I think they will get it. I think this is... And they might get it now. Origi, Salah... Messed that up a bit. Liverpool in this calendar year have been very good at getting wins from these sort of games where it's slightly again, it's a tough game, but they'll always find that goal. And I think they will. I do think they will. But I've got to say, Sheffield United been exactly what I thought they would be, really. A long shot there, and Adrian's got to tip it round the corner. Norwood. United photographer in the summer who leaks transfer news, and Sheffield United player. I'm joking. Only United fans will get that. Eclipse Viper says, how far do you think Greenwood's going to go? I think Greenwood's one of those rare young players that everyone in the youth setup has said what a player he is. Sure, Sheffield United were nearly in there. Cross came in, Liverpool clear it. He's one of those rare players where he's well known in the youth setup. Everyone says he's really, really good, and then he looks like he's going to be really good. I think that I've said about Greenwood that he's got that star potential. He could be a Rooney. He could be a Michael Owen. He could be a Gerrard or a Lampard. I'm not talking about positions. I'm not talking about style of play. I'm just saying he could be, a superstar, an English superstar who gets talked about in the sort of top 10 players in the world. So he's got that in him, and to be honest, what he's got to do is avoid injuries, and what he's got to do is have the right people around him, because Mourinho basically stunted Rashford and Martial for 18 months. He wasn't picking them, they weren't being developed, and I think their development basically was on hold for 18 months. So Henderson's got it. I thought Salah was in there. Henderson's got it. So he's got to stay. He's got to not get injured badly, and he's got to continue to develop. But if those things happen, I think Greenwood's got everything in his lock. And what I like about Greenwood is, so many people say he's like Van Persie, and you get that thrown at you. But actually, the reason people are saying he's like Van Persie has got nothing to do with. It's everything to do with the way he moves on the ball. It's like the style of player he is. He looks like Van Persie, the way he, his balance, his dribbling, his finishing. He's got massive, massive potential to be a superstar, but you've always got to be a bit careful because loads of things can go wrong. Pradney Wadke says, do you watch Rio's latest interview with Poet and Vudge? The way he talks about wanting to motivate players is inspiring, ain't it? Director of football, / player, manager. Well, Rio's disappointed me really, because he sat to do a fan cam with the United stand and waited to do it. Sheffield United. Oh, what a chance. Oh, what a block by Van Dijk. I thought they were going to score there. That's probably their best chance of the game, and it wasn't a very, they didn't really take it that well. Good battling here from Sheffield United. They're still on the attack. Cross comes in, and Adrian's got it. It's going a bit end-to-end at the moment. Let's see if anything comes of this. Salah's up on his own. Yeah, Rio disappointed me a bit because he actually sat in his car waiting to get on our fan cams, then didn't answer one question. Just basically wanted to say he was Ollie in, and you've got to trust the process. So he's obviously gone on another on the Vudgeon thing, whatever, and Poet, and because they're his mates, he's done stuff with them before. But I would like Rio to be to answering some proper questions, because what he said about Mike Ashley being good for Newcastle and the situation at United, I just think it's very political in the footballing world. I think I don't think he's actually addressing what the real issues are at United, and he's hiding behind the fact that, Ollie's a mate. Red Jedi says, Zane, why did you say Pepe is world class? Southpaw Love Sports says, Mark, I rarely hear Rooney counted among United's greats by the fans. Why do you think that is? I mean, Rooney is a fantastic player in United's history, and but unfortunately for Rooney, there's two reasons that he sort of doesn't have. Tommy Darko says Rio wasn't obliged to talk. No, he wasn't obliged to talk, Tommy. Everybody's got freedom to talk, but he waited to come on a fan cam. He was parked up and had a camera ready to film himself on a fan cam. And I personally think it was a publicity stunt. I think it was all about trying to get some positivity around Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And obviously we've tried to get in contact with him to have a proper chat, and he won't do it. So, of course, it's his right not to do it. But what I'm saying is, I think in many ways he used the United stand because we didn't ask him to come on a fan cam. He waited and was like, "Hey lads, it's me," and had his phone ready to be pro Ollie. And I think, you know what, your opinion doesn't actually matter that much if you're not willing to actually answer a question on something that you say. But it's totally his right not to do it. And Rio's a legend of the club as well. And I think a lot of what he says is very, very interesting. But I also think that, like a lot of ex-United players at the moment who are legends, they're all just very much about protecting Ollie and not really thinking about what's going on at the club. Wijnaldum! Goal! Henderson makes a mistake. Oh dear. Absolute clanger. Absolute clanger. And Liverpool are absolutely ecstatic, but it's just a P-roller really. He shoots from 30 yards. It's straight along the ground, straight at him. He's got it, and then it slips through his hand. Wijnaldum, it's it. It's just a terrible goalkeeping, that is. That's clanger of the season, that is. Why does it always happen to Liverpool as well? Remember Pickford last year catching it above the bar and dropping it down for them to score. They get a lot of luck. But you know what? Title winners, cup winners, you do get luck. It's 1-0. It's 1-0 to Liverpool. Lucky, but you buy your own luck by shooting on target. And Henderson, I don't see Sheffield United coming back from that. I said I fancied Liverpool to get over the line. They always get over the line in these sort of games. And the luck is with them. Yes, it is. It's an absolute clanger by Sheffield United. And you would fancy Liverpool to go and get a second now, because Sheffield United are going to have to come out. But an absolute clanger from Dean Henderson. Change the score, people. It's the one thing you can't do if you are the underdog in games, is make mistakes like that. You cannot gift goals for nothing to the opposition, because it's going to cost you the game. And all that defensive work All that offensive. Like Reese Francis says, ironically, it's a United player. It's been a good game, says Dazu W. I've really enjoyed it. I mean, but as I said, Liverpool are so good at this. You know, even when you think, oh, are they going to drop points? They'll find a way through. And, well, Henderson's found the way through for them, to be honest. And his first name's not Jordan, it's Dean, unfortunately, for Sheffield United. He's a good keeper, and every keeper's going to make a mistake. The thing is, if you're a centre-forward like Mane, and you miss that chance, it's like, oh, how did you miss that? A keeper makes a mistake, and it's magnified 100 times. Kato Ellis says, Man City fans will be pissed. Don't worry, there's not many of them. Gaz says this will change now. Liverpool will get 2 more. Yeah, because Sheffield United have got to come out, haven't they? They've got to try and attack a bit, and they haven't got the quality. I think Sheffield United will go down. I think they've had a very good start to the season, but from what I've seen of them, a lot of what they do is organisational graft. And when they pick up a couple of injuries and the season starts to wear and tear them, I think they're going to start to drop points. Henderson, De Gea, Papadam hands, says Sonny S. Yes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. And it's 1-0 to Liverpool. A clanger by Dean Henderson. Wijnaldum will claim it, of course, but he should have saved it. Zayn Mayasi, Rio is part of the establishment. He's never going to give an honest answer. Only Keane speaks the truth. I would take Roy Keane at Arsenal as manager. Yeah, you know, I like Roy Keane. I think he's very, you know, he's the biggest United legend of my life supporting Manchester United. Fantastic player. Very interesting to listen to, but I don't think he'd be a good manager because I think football's moved on. You look at the trouble he got in with Ireland. You know, he obviously calls a spade a spade. In fact, he calls it a fucking spade. And he would get, with the modern day footballer, he wouldn't be any good. He would go into the dressing room and he would bollock the players, like you say, but he would upset too many players, and that's because they're weak. Daniel Brown says flip-flop Goldbridge. Daniel, tell me why I'm a flip-flop. I'd love to put you in your place. Keeper scored an own goal, says Paul McCartney. Does that go down as an own goal, though? Because the shot's on target. I don't know. Sheffield United are top of the league for errors leading to goals this season. They've made 4. Go back to your Rooney points, says Danny CFC. Yeah, so Rooney at United, there's 2 reasons why I think he doesn't get the love he probably deserves. One is obviously because he declined quite badly over a long period of time. Basically, Rooney was pretty crap straight after Sir Alex Ferguson retired, but stayed for 3 or 4 years. And he declined. He did. He declined badly. And yet he was still considered the star player, but he wasn't anywhere near as good. Which isn't necessarily his fault, but there you go. The second thing is the transfer stuff. He asked to leave twice, didn't he? He denies it, but the damage was already done. So that sort of tarnished him a bit. And Sir Alex Ferguson was a big part of that with the first one, because he came out and said Rooney's asked to leave. And Sir Alex Ferguson's the biggest legend of United. And to see him upset, I think a lot of fans were like, screw you, Rooney. So they're the 2 reasons. But as a player in a United shirt, he should be up there with the likes of people like Giggs, really, you know. And I'd say Ronaldo gets more love than Rooney, and Ronaldo was here for a much shorter time and wanted to leave. So it is a bit of a weird one with Rooney. And, you know, at his best, Rooney was one of the best United players we've ever had. Pepe is not world class. He's a B-Tech Javinho, says Rio Mia. I can see Pepe turning up against United, though, because he's probably going to be up against Ashley Young, isn't he? Oh, timer. You won't be able to see the timer. There you go. Please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We'll have FIFA 20 gameplay for you tomorrow. Lunchtime, career mode, episode 5. And then we've got Spurs versus Bayern Munich for you on Tuesday. And we've got... what else have we got? We've got... Inter Milan versus Barcelona on Wednesday. So watch alongs. If you like watching your football, get yourself onto That's Football and subscribe. Zay Mayasi says, Red Pepe is world class compared to Rashford and Lingard. Get your Jedi healing powers ready for when we stuff you on Monday. Yeah, but I'm world class compared to Lingard and Rashford. So can we all be called? We're all world class. All 3,000 people. We're all world class if we're comparing ourselves to Lingard and Rashford. If you're comparing Pepe to Messi and Ronaldo and Hazard and Neymar, he's nowhere near, is he? That's not to say he can't be, but Sheffield United have got 2 quick players up front now. Can they battle a way back into it? They've come from behind before. They've come from behind at Stamford Bridge, 2-0 behind. So they're not going to now. Salah's through, and he's missed it! 1-on-1. Henderson redeems himself. Should be 2-0. It's still 1-0. That's a good save from Henderson. Salah's got plenty of time. It's not a bouncing ball. He's dribbling through. He's just got to pick his spot. And fantastic save by Henderson with the feet. Thank you for answering. I see why those are valid reasons, but I just feel United's all-time goal scorer should get more respect from the fans. So Southpaw loves sports. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I'm just telling you why. Can Sheffield United... Wijnaldum's just smashed wildly at that. Can Sheffield United get a chance? Can they get a chance in this last 12 minutes? Yeah, Spoggin's right. If somebody's trying to say I'm Ollie out, I've never been Ollie out. So what you got to appreciate is the United Stand's quite a big outlet on YouTube through no fault of its own. It's grown very, very well. And obviously I'm known from the United Stand. So at the moment there's a lot of toxicity in the Manchester United fan base. And my name is getting thrown out a lot as being part of that negativity. I've had this for years. I'm not bothered by it. I'm not. The reality is, you either like the United Stand or you don't like the United Stand. People who don't like the United Stand spread bullshit about me being Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out because it fits their agenda. If you watch the United Stand, you know I'm not Ollie out. Here's Liverpool again. Firmino, he's took the wrong pass there. It should have been to Salah. They're still on the attack with Origi. Here's Mane. Cross comes in. Henderson catches it. It's going to... Sheffield United are having to stretch the game. Buster Nut says, Zane, stop using your mum's credit card. I bet he's brilliant. I bet you're brilliant at Ultimate Team, Zane. I bet you've got Messi and Ronaldo up front. Classic Zidane and Baggio. Honda wants to sign for Man United, says Angani. Well, isn't he managing a team in Qatar in 33? I'm sorry, I don't, just because an ex-player that was half decent tweets that he wants to play for United. No, you're shit, mate. You're finished. You're not coming to United. Sheffield United are on the attack. Fleck, he's looked quite good. Red Jedi, only Arsenal fans think they're boss if they beat United. Real clubs thinks they're boss if they win the Premier League. Oh, you know, Arsenal fans will be feasting off beating us at Old Trafford for years. It will be humiliating. It will be humiliating, but a lot of United fans are expecting it. Corner to Sheffield United. Do I think that Rooney will be any good at Derby, says Jammy Jimmy? Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because Rooney's been done for drink driving himself. It's a good job he's not the manager now, because they've just had all their players done for drink driving, haven't they? In fact, their captain's out, probably ended his career from the crash. It'd be nice if Sheffield United could just get a good chance. But Salah's away here. Good defending there. They're 3v2. Well won. Fabinho, look at how good he's been. Fabinho, that's a foul. Mark, I think you guys at the United stand have done a great job. You've somehow managed to get people that don't even support United to watch and enjoy the videos, says Matty99. And Pradney, thanks for that, Matty. And Pradney Wadke says, imagine how lonely Zayn has to be in life that he literally keeps on spending loads of money just to banter Manchester United. Please get a life break. Look, mate, at the end of the day, Zayn comes on the streams. He's very welcome to come on the streams. If he wants to make contributions, he wants to make contributions. There's no need to start attacking people, anybody in the live comments. We're all, especially on this channel, because everybody, it's about banter and everything like that. But what I would say is Zayn's activity is not unusual for Arsenal fans. They are very, very vocal about their own club and somewhat naive about it. But the important thing is that as United fans don't go the same way. That Arsenal preview on the United stand with troops is explosive. Thoroughly enjoyed it, says Femelo. Yeah, if you've not watched that, make sure, whether you're an Arsenal fan, a United fan or neither, get over to the United stand after this and watch the latest upload. It really is brilliant. Between troops and rants and flex. But the best, there is a few arguments in there, but the best argument's about 20 minutes in between flex and rants. And troops is like, all right, I'll leave you to it. I thought I was going to be the one. They're arguing about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So, yeah, it's a good bit. It's good. Keeper's just been booked for being a time waster. I love Rooney, says Harrison Dodd. Look, my favourite Rooney time was when he first came to United because I loved him for England. 2004 Euros was peak Rooney. He just burst on the scene and put France to bed. I think we still lost the game to France, but he was amazing. And then he came to United and he was brilliant. He was brilliant for United up until about 2011. So, I like Rooney. I didn't like the last few years of Rooney, but, it's a bit like a good film, isn't it? Some films you really like different parts of it. You're lucky if you like the whole bit. There always seems to be a little bit that, the middle bit's a bit boring or whatever. But Rooney was great. The best bits of Rooney were not the end of his career at United. Alfie says, I'm an Arsenal fan. I think we will win on Monday because Lacazette is the best player in the league. But Lacazette's not playing, so what do you think now? Mark, Rooney at one point wanted to leave and held the club hostage for money. Well, exactly, Zane. That's exactly why some United fans have a problem with him. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. It's been I'm glad we've done this watch along. I mean, you might think I'm wrong. Some people said you should have done Everton versus City. Maybe I'll get proved wrong because Everton will get a result. But I actually think that Marco Silva will be the next manager sacked in the Premier League. And I think that City will beat Everton 3 or 4-0. I don't think it's going to be a very good game. So this one's been a battle. And again, Liverpool are going to battle their way to three points that maybe, other teams wouldn't. So what a miss. What a bloody miss by Clark. If he's onside, he has missed an absolute sitter. The cross comes in. It's across the 6-yard box, I think, when he gets there. He would have been offside. He would have been offside by VAR. And he misses the goal, puts it over the bar. I think VAR would have struck that out. But he's got to hit the target. In fairness to Sheffield United, you're probably better off that he missed it because VAR would have took that out. He looked just offside. Genesis, hey Max says, winning on a bad day is a good thing. Exactly. As a United fan, I can tell you, winning on a bad day is what you want to do if you want to win titles. We used to do it a lot. A few people were saying what a miss it was. I'm not doing the Madrid derby, Davi and Francis. I've already said that. No way. I'm not doing it. I'm out this afternoon, so I'm having a bit of time off. I might do Football Manager, Kieran, but I probably won't get it until Christmas. So Milner's coming on to shore up the shop for the last 5 minutes. Why Sheffield United look better than United, says Bedlam. Jack Pace de Bono says that Liverpool's midfield is not that much better than United. It's all about their game style that doesn't show it. I disagree with you, mate. I think Fabinho, Wijnaldum and Henderson are streets ahead on ability and tactical positioning. I don't think it's just about the formation. I think they are tenacious players who get the ball and play it forward. And United haven't got that. I think Fabinho is the player United should have gone for. And it annoys me because fans are right, aren't they? Fans are right and they get proven right time and time again. You know, in the summer we were all saying Bruno Fernandes is the player to go and get, and we should have got him and we didn't. We should have got Fabinho instead of Matic and we didn't. And it's annoying. Liverpool to finish invincible Centurions, says Sonny S. No, Liverpool will win a game. They'll lose a game. Mark, why didn't you get Peter Kenyon to buy United? I hear he wants to buy Newcastle, says Zamiasi. Oh, I don't want him back. Do not want him back. He left us to go to Chelsea. Mercenary. Van Dijk. Adrian clears it. Other than it's Arsenal at Old Trafford, what gives you confidence in this United team that they can beat Arsenal on Monday, says Jordan Such? I think my confidence is probably based on that, Jordan. I don't think United can continue to play as bad as they have done. I think there will be a bounce. I think pride will kick in. And I think these players are capable of putting in a good performance every now and again. So that's one reason. My second reason is it is Arsenal. And Arsenal they do bottle away games a lot, especially up north. And they did it last year. Arsenal played Manchester United about 10 days before Jose Mourinho was sacked. They played us on the 5th of December last year. And they could still only get a 2-2 draw. So I just think, Arsenal probably should come and win. But I'm not expecting them to. And I just don't think you should ever be predicting Arsenal are going to beat United. Life's not that bad. There's no need to get that down about it. And you know what? The most important thing is we're Manchester United. We should expect them to not get beat by Arsenal at Old Trafford. Why give them a get out of jail excuse? Can Sheffield United get a chance here late on? They're up in They're up in Liverpool's half. There's an opportunity to whip a cross in. And I think that's going to be a foul on Trent Alexander-Arnold. Anyway, no, Milner, no. Goal kick given. Anarud says, Lacazette is streets ahead of Martial. Anarud, these sort of comments make me laugh. They belong on the playground. Are you swapping stickers with somebody? I mean, you don't watch every United game, so don't come at me with your Lacazette's better than Martial. You don't watch every United game. You don't know anything about Martial, so you think what you like. I know you're talking out your arse, to be honest. 4 minutes to be added on. Harrison Dodd says, will Greenwood start against Arsenal? I think he's got to start. Because of the injuries that we've got. But also, he's got 2 goals in 2 games when he's played. And Sheffield United just not able to get the ball. Free kick on Mane. What do I think as Adrian as the second goalkeeper? I think he's done very well, hasn't he? I said at the time when Alisson got injured, I don't think it's going to be a major problem for them because the drop off isn't that big. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm sorry. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Anyway, really enjoyed the stream. Glad I chose this game in a way because it's allowed us to have a good old chat in between as well. But also, it's been interesting enough to keep us interested. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, of course. And what I would say is make sure you get yourself over to the United Stand and watch the Arsenal Fan TV preview with Troops and Rants and Flex. It's brilliant. It's really, really good. Can Sheffield United forge one chance in these last couple of minutes? They're in the Liverpool half. They've got to throw in. But Liverpool have got everybody back. Need to try and win a corner or something. Decent. Keeper's going to get that. Keeper's got it. Do we miss a player like Matip? 6 foot, comes forward with the ball and would complement Maguire. He was free too. Goes down to recruitment, says Mr. A. United's recruitment's terrible though, isn't it? We already know that. It is terrible. I mean, we've just mentioned there. Bruno Fernandes, every United fan in the world knows that he was available and we should have got him. We've got no midfield. Fabinho was another one we should have gone for. You look at the players we shouldn't have gone for. You know, recruitment's been very bad from United for a long time. That's going to be about that. 1 minute to go. It's out for a goal kick. Sheffield United will be very, very happy. I do rate Tielemans, Anarud. I do rate him. But Chamberlain's coming on as well. Sheffield United, good graft. And the sad thing is they've lost it because of a goalkeeping error. Having said that, Liverpool had the chances to win it. Mane hit the post. Salah was through 1-on-1. Good save from Henderson. So Liverpool will know they had the chances to win that game without the mistake from Henderson. But ultimately, they've got over the line and won it. And again, these are the games that you win when you're going to be winning titles or challenging for titles. And the 5-point gap is maintained over Manchester City, who go away to Goodison Park. And, you know, Everton need a result. So it could be... interesting. Sheffield United might just get one chance to get this in the box. And they won't. Adrian's got it. I think that's going to be it. £21 points for Liverpool. Game over. Thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Smash a like if you enjoyed it. Back on here tomorrow with FIFA at lunchtime. And get yourself on the United Stand now to watch the AFTV preview with Troops. Very, very good. Really does go off. I think you're going to enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of your day as well. But do pop over to the United Stand and give that a watch. I'll speak to you all soon.